Susan Webster is here. Elizabeth Skinner, is she?
Here.
Okay, she's there on the phone. She's not well this evening. Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Rebecca McLeod.
Here.
Greg Sheen.
Here.
And Tom Hall.
Here. All right, I would like to ask the council to amend landmark number 7 in our agenda to bring forward a gentleman that's got a volunteer application in. So if I could get a, okay,
Second.
Gavis,
Yeah, we do.
I have a motion and a second to bring forward the Landmarks Commission. Anybody, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, amendment passes. So I will bring Mr. Ken Monday forward if he would like to speak to us. He has an application in. I think it's in our packet here. He is wanting to come in as a volunteer for the Landmarks Commission. And I just spoke with him a few seconds ago. And we're going to bring him forward if council has any questions, or if he has any questions of council on this. And then we'll hold this application over till next meeting. And at next meeting, we will make our decision, which I don't think will be too bad. But we want to find out who Mr. Ken Monday is, and if there's any questions.
I'm Ken Hoagland. I've spoken with most of you, Ms. Webster, and the mayor I just met tonight. And thank you for considering my application. I like to give something back to my new hometown. I own a house that was built in 1872. And I'll just take it a day at a time and give you my best effort. I brought my family tonight, if you don't mind. My beautiful wife, Wendy, of 35 years. My son, Jack, who's been working for the last year at the World Bank in Bogota, Colombia.
Gee,
I'm seeing him for the first time in a year,
Yeah.
these last few days. And my beautiful son, Henry, who 4 days ago graduated from Virginia Tech in 3 days.
Wow.
Good
job.
So they all wanted to be here tonight, and thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken. We appreciate your
Yep,
application.
next meeting, we'll have this up for vote, okay?
Thank you.
So if you want to be here next meeting, you can. If you don't, we'll let you know.
We'll be here anyway.
I will be here, and I want to apologize tonight. Jack has to work at 8 a.m. tomorrow at the World Bank in DC, so we're sending him on his way
Oh,
tonight. And I'll
amen.
bid you good night.
Amen.
Well,
Take
yeah.
care, drive
Drive
safely,
safe.
and we'll see you next meeting.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Okay.
My daughter is great.
I would take a motion to go back to our regular agenda.
So made.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second on the floor to return back to our regular agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that moves. So we're going to be back. We're going back to review of our minutes. So I will take any changes or additions that need to be made if there needs to be made, and I would appreciate common consent from the council. Everybody good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, common consent. All right, we're going to move forward. Persons before council. We have a candidate for U.S. Senate, Zach Shrewberry. He can, we limit these to 3 minutes, so, you've got the floor.
I'll be quick. My name is Zach Shrewsbury. I'm a candidate for U.S. Senate. I wanted to come here and introduce myself and invite you all out to a meet and greet. I'll be at the Fairfax Coffee House in the next 3 days. Just wanted to meet the community, a little bit about myself. Native West Virginian, born in Monroe County, James Monroe High School. Joined the Marine Corps.
Except for 5.
Was in for 5 years. Was in a fleet anti-terrorism security team for 2.5, then just regular infantry for 2.5. When I came back to West Virginia, I dived into community organizing and politics. So what's that look like? Feeding the homeless, bringing cold weather clothes to them, to different organizations, or just myself, delivering clean water to communities. Then through that, working on different pieces of legislation, from local to DC, and then also going through the coal fields trying to bring new jobs down Southern West Virginia. I'm now in the Panhandle, to be up here, to figure out the needs of everyone up here. I'm very community oriented. I think West Virginia is one of the last states that we actually have a very community-based society still. Outside of West Virginia, you get mostly very individualistic. No one knows their neighbors. So ultimately, what I'm really trying to get through here is a very community-oriented campaign. I'm trying to meet as many communities as I can to broaden that, just figure out what's really needed across West Virginia, and also to show that when community stands together, we all help each other. When people come in and try to divide us with hateful rhetoric, racism, whatever you want to call it, we stand together. We stand together as a community. I think that's broadcasted across West Virginia, especially. So I'll keep it short, but like I said, Zach Shrewsbury. I'll be at the Fairhouse Coffee House next 3 days for 3 hours at a time. Yeah, come talk to me. I love to meet everybody here.
Thank you.
That's my spiel.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you all for having me out.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, that's the only person we have before council this time. So let's move to communications from the mayor. As you see, we got in the packet our letter back from the Division of Highways on the crosswalks and the speed limit signs. Basically, the state has said that speed limit signs can't be any less than 25 mile an hour in the community. We were asking for Wilk Street up here, a whole of Wilk Street to be 15 mile an hour due to a lot of kids on the street. They said that that's not possible because this is a state street and they don't allow anything less than 25 mile an hour. Also, they have also said that they're doing a study on the pedestrian walks that we've asked to have put back down by the park there on the south side of the park and at the Country Inn. They said they're supposedly doing a study. They looks like they're trying to push this until the new bypass gets put together because they're saying there's too much truck traffic. So anyway, council, I think that we need to write a letter to Mr. Charles Trump, Mr. Darrell Coles, and all our other state representatives in the Eastern Panhandle, letting them know that the state is refusing to put crosswalks in where the crosswalks need to be put. They are also refusing speed limit signs on Wilk Street, saying that they can only do 25 mile an hour signs. I think that is way too much, too fast coming down the street, because we have kids that play on the street, walk on the street, walk to school, walk down to the bus stop down here. And so anyway, I would take a motion to contact our state representatives in the Eastern Panhandle, let them know the problems we're having with the state Division of Highways, not agreeing to take care of our problems in this community. I feel very strongly about this. I'm going to keep pushing this until the day they're either putting me in the ground or I'm no longer the mayor of this town. It's a safety issue both ways, and they're totally refusing to do anything. So, yes,
When you say they,
State Division of Highways. We've met with them in person. The police chief and I met with them about 3, 4, 5 months ago. They said absolutely not. We've wrote letters. We've talked to people. I think it's time we get our representatives in charge of the Eastern Panhandle to go to bat for us and to try to get this stuff done. Yes.
Could they put up signs like children playing or something?
We've talked about that. We've talked about putting the 25 mile an hour signs up and putting children at play.
We did before.
Right.
There was one right out
Yeah.
there, one up there.
But right now, we have talked about it. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and put 25 mile an hour speed limit signs up so that our chief and our other patrol officers can enforce the speed limit if they're over 25 mile an hour while I'm pulled over and ticketed, because it's a safety violation, So we talked about that in the police.
I put them at either end of
Yeah, we're-
both sides.
Yes.
And if you can sneak in a 15-mile-an-hour, let them come and take it down.
I've even thought about going ahead and get 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs and putting them in. So we've been talking about that. So we have decided that right now we are going to put speed limit signs up for now.
I think there's one up on Rockwell, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Well,
a long
But
time
it's a
ago.
town street, it's not a
Yeah.
state.
If this was a town street, we could put it up. So, so anyway, that's where we're at. So I would take a motion that we send our state legislatures here in the Eastern Panhandle. I don't think it's going to do any good to send them up to anywhere else. I think the Eastern Panhandle, I think they understand the situation we're in. This is a walking community. This is a walking community, and for people to walk down there from Citizens National Bank, either up to Roy's Service Center, up there where Betty Lou's, or walk to the square to cross because it's inaudible, it's a little bit much to ask people. I'm not going to stop. I've already told our the couple people, the people in the legislate, that I will not stop until we get what we need.
You know, we used to get those pedestrian stop signs and put them right in the middle of the street, remember
Yep.
that? But then they got.
Well, they said we can't do that either. We can't put them in the middle of the street anymore. It's illegal. So, we can't even put, crossing or whatever.
I'll make your motion for you.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. I have a motion, a second on the floor to send our Eastern Panhandle representatives to the state, letter stating the problem we're having with the state DOH and their unacceptance of safety issues. So I got any discussion?
Well, in fairness to the state, in the letter that they sent to us, they are conducting another engineering study that will be complete in 90 days. So we draft the letter, we send the letter out, they're just gonna come back and tell us, well, we already told you that we're conducting another.
They've done that
engineering study.
before, Greg. They studied for 2 years before they did the road down here, the ones they were gonna put back. That was 2 years ago. I talked to the Secretary of Transportation with Mr. Senator Trump and a few other people at Charleston. And they said they would do a study and come back. Well, the studies have been done too many times and they're refusing to do it because they say there's too much truck traffic. Well, that's all the reason to slow people down and stop them when people cross.
We're only asking for this for Wilk Street. We're not asking this for Washington, are we?
No, we're asking for Washington for the right there at Citizens Bank, the crosswalks to be put back in. They took those two out there and the one at Williams Street down here to go across for the trail.
Yes, the crosswalks.
Right.
But I'm saying the speed limit.
Speed limit signs, we're asking for Wilk Street right now.
Wilk Street only to 15.
Right, to 15 mile an hour, and most of the other streets we can put up because we maintain those streets. These are state streets, and they said 25 mile an hour is less than all they can do. So,
Well, we shouldn't wait till we have a child that's
right, and we put in the last letter that the state would be responsible if we have somebody hit, hurt, or killed. It's their responsibility. So it's their state street. If they want to play hardball, they can play hardball. So, and we'll go from there. Yes.
Any places that have successfully gotten that?
I do not know. I do not know that.
Right.
You know,
If we knew, then we.
I'm
know
worried
how they
about
got it
this
done.
town. I'm not worried about any other town right now.
I'm only talking in terms of, you call them, what did you do?
Right.
They may say, I talked to so
Right.
and so. Cool.
Yeah. So,
May want to check the national.
Does anybody know if we could address this under home rule? Or is
Yes.
it because it's a state road, we would not be able to?
Beth, it's Greg. Yes, I did contact the municipal league about that specific question, and several municipalities attempted to do just that, to put in the 15-mile-per-hour speed limits, but they were denied.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
okay. All right. Well, then, is there any more discussion with the council? I got to pass this first. Any more discussion with the council? All right. I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right. Now,
We've already passed it, so never mind.
okay.
No,
Sorry, I had it on. It's on there. So
Now.
sorry.
No, that's,
I'm
I don't
trying
know
my
how-
best.
Yeah, why Paul gonna have a question? I didn't.
Do it.
Why
I
Paul
don't
gonna
know.
comment?
I screwed up. So,
Okay, then I'll comment.
okay.
Okay, since we're taking it to the legislative branch of our country, we probably want to propose that we're asking for either a specific change to a state law or a policy. I don't know which one this lies under. That way, when the letter goes out to representative, senator, whoever, they all kind of have the same talking points. I do think Paul's point is good though, and representing small towns, who are pushing for walking communities. You're hitting on all the points, but I would just say help them. You don't make it harder for them. Don't just give them this. Tell them here's what we'd like you to,
Well, we
to
can
bring
put
up.
that in the letter.
Yeah, that's
So
just my recommendation
Bree,
for
can you
that.
make sure when we do the letter, we put that in the letter? That is a good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Larry. And I'm sorry that.
No worries.
So, okay, all right. So we got that taken care of. Next thing on my plate is the office is going to be closed for about 2 hours or so, maybe a little bit more on Thursday. We're going to have a small office party for all our office personnel, our personnel that's on the street, our water department. We're going to kind of all get together and just celebrate for a few hours. So anyway, and then also everybody knows the office is going to be closed on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Also, I wasn't going to announce it, but since I have that on my agenda, I am going to be giving our town employees Friday off, so they'll close this Friday. They're the 22nd. I think it's only good business practice because they work all year round for us in this community. They pick up trash. Guys will be picking up trash, basically like the schedule we did on Thanksgiving. They'll pick up the trash and then they'll be going. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. I think it's a good thing to reward all the people that work for our community in this town office, out on the streets in the cold, the wet, the snow, and everything else. So anyway, and then the dectometers, I'm going to let Brianna talk about that. She was in charge of this basically whole project. So you have the floor under this.
Thank you, Scott. So I thought it was a success. It was obviously my first year doing it. In the past, the chamber has normally done it. So I feel that I definitely did my best. I reached out to a lot of individuals and businesses to try to get them to decorate. A lot of them came up with very good designs. They all look wonderful. Last minute, we decided to do a contest. So I have for first place, which I let the people on Facebook vote. First place, everyone voted for the blessing box, which is right there next to the courthouse. Second place is the Morgan County Jeepers, which is on Fairfax Street, close to the park. And third place was the Girl Scouts, which they are right on 522 next to the park. Everybody got a certificate. We got pictures taken and they were sent to the Morgan Messenger, so they should be in the paper Wednesday, fingers crossed. I reached out to Trish kind of last minute. I'm like, hey, I got these. Can you please try to get them in there? So hopefully we can get them in the paper for Wednesday. And then I'm already, starting to make plans for next year. So
Excellent. Good. But we thank you. You kind of last minute took this project on, and I think it was a great success. The town looks great. The
She
lights look
deserves
good.
Friday off.
Yeah.
I worked very hard.
She did a lot of
Nice
extra.
job there.
Thank you.
So this is what this community, it takes everybody coming together to come up with stuff.
I should
So
remember.
it was a good, I think town looks great with all the lights and everything. So Brianna, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move on to Bath Development. So nobody's here. The next meeting is the 3rd of January at 4:30 at the courthouse. Parks and Recs, we don't have anybody here. Next meeting was
Tomorrow.
it is tomorrow, the 20th. At 7 at the courthouse. Planning Commission.
So, upcoming events, because the holidays fall on Monday for the next 2 weeks, we're not going to have our weekly working group. So we're taking a little break as well. And a pen change, please, for Brianna. Our meeting is going to be on the 11th, not the 4th.
Okay.
And at that meeting, we will be sitting down with the ordinance committee and reviewing the tasks of the 2017 comprehensive plan with them that we've been working in the working group to prepare for.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Any questions for Larry?
Larry, I might have to I got to double check my schedule for that week.
Okay.
and that day.
All right.
I'll get back with you.
Okay, thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. Rails and Trails,
It's traveling, so he's not here. The bids came in for the rail trail on the 12th. There were 2 bids, and they were really over.
really over.
Yeah, I guess their cost estimate was 1.96 million, and they came, the low bidder came in at $2,795,000, which is $240 per foot.
Yep, for a trail, and this is,
A trail that's already got a base.
Yeah.
The bridges, I guess, are expensive. I don't know, but we haven't heard from DOH what the next step is, and I'm not sure what the county will have to pony up with if they do select. So
okay.
we've been watching the stormwater management facility down there, and we need to make a few corrections on it where the water flows naturally. We want to capture that and get as much in. So we'll be looking at maybe doing some changes there. I've got a landscape plan started by a local forester for the tree area. And we also are moving forward with the landscaping designs for the front part of the area, which is the gardens and everything that you'll be seeing from the front. And the county is toning up some additional money for planting materials.
Rebecca, on the water retention portion of that project, will that have to be fenced in at some point in time? No. Okay.
No, it'll be, if you've been up in Greenway, the rain garden that's in there, it'll be sort of like that. We'll be planning it. It'll be,
okay.
Yeah, people probably won't want to walk into it or anything, but they should be encouraged to walk up to it and through that area because it's going to be pretty.
Nice.
No, I can't wait.
Good deal. All right, streetscapes, you got anything on that?
Nothing.
Okay. I know there's some stuff in here I was reading earlier, some council.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the final acceptance of the 90% plan. I think it's under federal review right now.
Okay. All right, train depot, anything?
Well, we haven't met and, put together a meeting yet. I've just said that, we get together after the first year. Anybody on council who wants to come or share any ideas that they may have, we're welcome of any of that. But there are a lot of people with very different talents and skills who are interested in helping with it. So looking forward to getting back into that first year.
All right, thanks. All right, now we're down to clerk and recorder's report. Do you have anything else? Yes, you do.
Yes, mine was the blessing box. So I reached out to the organization, which is Brighter Horizons Kids Club. They are a part of Life for Drugs. Basically, from it's my understanding, they created the kids club as a place for the individuals who go to the Life for Drugs meetings to drop off their kids. That way they have childcare. They provide, foods, drinks, stuff to play with, that kind of thing, and a safe environment for the kids to make friends, that kind of thing, while, sorry, I had to make sure that was on there, while their parents are in the meetings. They created the blessing box meter decoration. They got all kinds of positive feedback on Facebook. I don't know if any of you have seen it on Facebook or not. The community seems to want it to be a more permanent thing. I understand that we have a box already of sorts that the Beehive created. I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
So I can try to reach out to them and figure out,
It's a
what
small
their plans.
box.
I know it's small, yeah, right there. I can, like I said, I can try to reach out to them, see what their thought process is, if they want to do more with that. Whenever I was speaking with Heather, which is one of the members of the kids club, she informed me that Layla Wendell actually helped decorate the blessing box decoration, and that they would be willing to make a more permanent box if the town could find a spot for it, find a home for it. So some of the ideas that I was trying to come up with where to put it were somewhere close up here near the community garden and obviously us. Somewhere right down in town, close to where it's at now, like the courthouse, like in the grassy area maybe, or even like somewhere like right here where like Citibank is in the community garden market. I think wherever it goes, if we can make it a more permanent thing, it needs to be somewhere convenient, somewhere somebody can walk by, get what they need without being judged, without being looked at, that kind of thing. It needs to definitely be something where they'll be anonymous. Somewhere that if they need to park, there's parking, which is a thing up here. There's not a whole lot of parking up here if we were to put it up here. But like Citibank, they have a big parking lot there. Around the courthouse, there's meters. There's the big gravel lot, so it's. But I just kind of wanted to get your guys' feedback, see what you all thought. Like I said, they'd be willing to create the box if we can just find a spot to put it.
I would think that CMB Bank, that would be a great location, and they would more than likely be willing to co-sponsor that in some way, as well. So we can make some
Yeah, you
calls.
would have one on either end then.
Yeah.
You'd have one
Yeah.
up there and one down here, so they're not kind of close to each other's.
Mhm.
And if somebody needed something, they were closer down here at if that blessing box or whatever they're calling it there, the Beehive, and then have that one up there. I think honestly,
I
when
like the idea.
Brianna asked me about it, I said, if we can find a place to put it, I'm all for it. There's a lot of people in this community are hurting right now. They need food, they need other essential items that are put into that blessing box. And I think it would be a really good idea for the town.
I'll call Becky Stoller tomorrow.
That would be great. Yeah. I'd
I just-
also.
I just happened to be at the courthouse to do some business and was sitting and got up and walked over and I saw a lady walk up to the blessing box and put numerous items in the box and closed it. And of course, the bailiffs were there and the bailiffs were watching what was going on, which is a good thing because folks, but the scenario is it's a beautiful idea.
Yes, I think so too. Go ahead.
I like the idea, maybe over in that parking lot between C&B and St. Vincent's, because it's not right on the street, like just for some discretion for those who are using it. And if they have a car, they can easily pull into that lot and take things and be on their way without like holding up traffic on 522 or Fairfax and the other location. All of them, I'm sure, have pluses and minuses, but I appreciate your thoughtfulness around making sure it's a location that really is thoughtful around those who use it.
Thank you. Yeah, from my understanding, upon speaking with Heather, they've only stalked it one time themselves. Everybody in the community has been stalking it, and it's anything from food to hygiene products to clothing. Like people keep taking what they need and people keep putting it back. So like I said, they've only stalked it one time and they've been keeping up with it.
One thing, doesn't Roy's do something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She does.
Offhand,
She
I
lays
don't
stuff
know.
out in the front, clothes
Yeah.
and stuff. But hey, I'm all for it because there's a lot of people that really need this in this community. I mean, it shows the generosity of people that are putting stuff into that box, so people that need can go and get it, whether it be a can of green beans or whether it be a shirt or something. I think it's a good idea. So I think I would ask council to, if you guys want to do it, let's do a motion so that we can set this into motion. We'll find a place to put it that's in a good location.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion, a second on the floor. Any discussion? I'll let you in on it. So what were you gonna say? We're in discussion.
And this is a box that people put and take in, unread. Nobody collects it.
No.
So
No.
the only thought is the anonymity I was hearing is one concern. It's like people can deposit. No concerns about somebody like going in and taking it. Is there a video within sight? In other words, if you ever had that issue.
I think it depends where we would put it. Like currently it's at the courthouse. Obviously the courthouse has cameras. So if something were to happen, I'm sure they'd be willing. If we did like the bank, I'm sure the bank probably has cameras, if need be.
It's the sort of paranoia I hate to put out there, but it's kind of like in case to be reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
That does remind me, I do put stuff in the blessing box in front of the beehive quite frequently, so I'm in there seeing what's in there, and there's been some incidents where somebody is taking something out of there and spilled it all along the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, I did see
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We'll have to
so,
figure out something, but
so
like I
take
said,
that into consideration,
Right.
vandalism.
right.
Mhm. I think we just need to expect that that's going to be
Right, yeah.
something that
The new norm.
happens, but it certainly
Right.
can't be a deterrent to our action.
Well, the
Yeah.
one over by the beehive makes it very handy for somebody to do something like that. Over by the bank where you're suggesting sounds like a better place, because if there's gonna be anything done, they're gonna have to carry it away from there.
Right,
You know?
right. Eric?
Hey, I heard two different things going on. I heard one is making sure we've got snacks for the kids while their parents are in their treatment program. Is that correct?
No, she said that they provide.
That was just something
The
they
people
provide,
that
yeah.
made that.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's one of the needs, and then there's the boxes, which are awesome, right? I just like to remind folks, St. Vincent de Paul does have the food pantry, so that's another
Yeah.
part of it, and so
Yeah.
especially for the kids program, you know, if there's a, you know, every week kind of thing or whatever, give them a heads up. They have a lot. They get perishables, they get baked goods, they get a lot of stuff that needs to move, and they're not going to keep there very long.
Right.
So just within the network of what the need is, I would just ask you to keep the Morgan County food pantry in the loop
Good deal.
for helping out that for
Good deal.
other folks.
All right. I'm gonna
They
call
take
you.
baked goods, yeah.
Yeah, they have all the canned stuff, but also.
Okay.
You know,
I'm
that being
can-
gonna call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Rihanna, do your thing.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on
Thank you.
to recorder's report.
Aye.
Good. Okay. Let's pay some bills then.
Okay, we have well, first we have an internal budget revision, that this is something that is internal in public safety and is nothing that has to be voted on or sent to Charleston. We have, let's see, the town of Bath bills. I'd like to make a motion that we pay $21,090.92.
$90.92 because it's different on ours here.
I know, oh yeah, there was a
Okay, there was
correction.
a correction.
There's now the
Okay.
correction.
Just
so-
want to make sure I'm
And
saying.
we
the
really
right
look at
thing.
them.
Two corrections.
Two corrections,
Okay.
actually.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second on the floor to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $21,090.93. 92, I'm sorry, 92. Correction. All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Make a motion to pay the Berkeley Springs Water Works bills in the amount of $41,663.47.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second on the floor to pay the Berkeley Springs waterwork bills in the amount of $41,663.47. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion that we pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $2,000.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second on the floor.
Question.
Oh, hold on a second. Greenway Cemetery for $2,000. Discussion?
I was under the impression that we were not paying that $2,000.
The
The
gentleman,
MRB,
the gentleman sent in a revised invoice with a justification of
The,
materials.
can I speak to it? Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
The, the cemetery committee went to the finance committee and presented the contractor's request for a new acceptance payment of $2,000 because the project has to be put on hold because of the weather. The finance committee came back and asked for the contractor to show that he had spent that much money beyond what he had already received. The contractor did do that, and the finance committee said once the contractor did that, they did not have any problems with the cemetery committee going ahead and asking for the bill to be paid. This is not an increase in any way for the contractor. This is just a payment to get him through the winter since he had to put the project on hold because of weather.
Okay,
He
thank
went-
you, thank
He
you.
went over the information and recommended to the cemetery committee that we go ahead and pay.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, all right then, any more discussion? I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Deal. All right, we got anything else for finance? We're good. Okay, let's move on to tree board.
I think in January, most of the appointments are up. And so they're, right now, the president of the tree board is making sure that everybody is willing to serve. I don't think the town appointments are up though until,
I don't think they are either. I think we just reappointed them, so, okay.
so I think they'll have that for you after this meeting. And we are having a meeting, a special meeting Wednesday at 4:00 to discuss the health of the spruce trees that are decorated on the square and one other spruce tree.
Okay.
We have a recommendation from the Bartlett Tree Service to help them be healthier.
Does that include the Christmas tree?
Yeah, that is the Christmas
Yeah.
tree. And then one other spruce that's got some of the same issues.
Now, listen, now all 5 of you are good. You don't need reappointment. Everybody is on the same.
The tree board members, the president and the other 2 community members, and one of which is the tree steward.
Okay,
So they probably will need one in January.
all right.
All right, well, we'll wait that come forward to us in January. Okay, let's move down to grants.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
At our last grants meeting, Rebecca was there and she shared in detail the plan for the Watershed Planning Commission with USDA and NCRS, and specifically explained in a bit more detail the preference to proceed with the town of Bath as the sponsoring local organization rather than the county. There was a follow-up opportunity at the finance committee meeting right before this meeting for a couple of members to get more clarification on that specific point, which was a little sticky, but I think we've unstuck it. And at the next town council meeting, I will be putting forth a motion to approve that. We also discussed a couple of other grants in progress, but I have no tangible updates because the ones that we're pursuing now are either in progress or the funding cycles are in the spring or early summer. So that's where we are.
All right.
Oh, and our next meeting on the 8th, January 8th.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mary. All right, public safety, we just had a meeting. There's a few things that we have in the works right now. So bear with us. There's going to be some vehicle changes probably here soon and a few other things. So as we finalize that, we'll bring it forth and go from there. Yes.
Down here by the water company. Almost on a constant basis, people are parking face the wrong direction. I know we put together something, but is there anybody enforcing that?
They got a ticket.
Good. Because
They got a ticket.
It's been
The
like,
ticket was on there. I saw it this morning when I went past. The
Good.
ticket was there, so they got a ticket. So, we all, actually, the chief's right here. I'll let him,
Where was it?
the one there
Street down by the
today,
water.
or yesterday, I can't.
Oh, it's been the last couple of days.
Yeah. There's
Gold
Park
truck?
Man.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's been everybody. I can't believe it. They're
So
on
there
both
was,
sides of the street. They're going the wrong
so
way.
there was a gold truck there for most of the day. That one did get a ticket, and ironically enough, as I was going, that was earlier in the day.
Mhm.
And it was just getting dark, and there was another vehicle parked right across the street from it. And I stopped and addressed that situation, and the passenger of that truck was the one that got the ticket earlier in the day.
Small
Took care-
town,
took
learn
care
his
of
lesson,
both.
did he?
Took care of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is something that we have definitely, because that came out back in the summer, early
Uh-huh.
spring, late spring.
When I moved here,
In
I
the
had to
Morgan
go.
Messenger that we were going to start doing that, and I got to tell you, I am completely satisfied with Wilk Street. I'm amazed. I have had no pushback at all from the folks on Wilkes on either side. And I really thought that would, because it had been going on for so long, I really expected there'd be some challenges. But everyone has done a wonderful job, and I couldn't be more pleased with.
Well, I
Awesome.
think when
With the
people
reception.
see infrastructure improvement, the paving of that street and all, they went, oh, I better pay attention, you know? And down there in front of your apartment building too, it's a real easy place for people to use the handicap ramp to pull up onto the sidewalk and park.
Yes.
If they think it's, oh, isn't this nice, you know? So that's another thing that happens down on your end of the world.
It happens so frequently, and I'd never seen it before until I moved here. I had to go look up the law because I thought, well, maybe I can do that too, because everybody else was doing it.
I think you're going to see much less of it.
Chief, do you have anything else?
Other than that, I don't want to steal Tom's thunder if he's going to speak of the truck.
Okay.
during his time.
All right.
And just one other thing, Chief, with the Park Mobile.
Hmm.
So we are pursuing, getting more information on Park Mobile. We just need to schedule an appointment. I think we're gonna be with the chief in Shepherdstown.
And Park Mobile,
Is for the parking meters.
the parking meters, that's right.
Yeah, it's an alternative
Mhm.
to the meters. The meters will still be operable,
Mhm.
but you will be able to use your phone and a phone app
Mhm.
to reserve a parking space.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right, well then, let's move off public safety to cemetery.
I just wanted to let the cemetery committee know that our next normal meeting would be right after Christmas. We will not be having that meeting. And as we previously discussed, we are continuing to use the contractor on the mausoleum. We had to take a break for the weather, but he will be returning in the spring to finish up the project. And so we will keep you informed of when that work begins again.
I would like to add that the Warm Springs Watershed Association planted 17 trees at the cemetery too to help shield the shed. Some pretty good sized trees.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Cold.
Wow.
Oh.
Do it in the spring.
Okay, Beth, is that all?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to public works then.
We fixed potholes.
Yes, I saw.
Some potholes on Twain and a few of the other streets. We're trying to get the streets that are used more frequently first. We do have a little bit more material in reserve for when one pops open, and also some material that couldn't be carried in with the truck, has to be carried in with the skid loader. So if anyone's got problems, let us know. We'll try to get out there.
Okay.
Rebecca, are they trying to compact that at all? or-
Yes, I was pretty strong about we want compaction. because
Good.
I was
Good.
assured that we are getting compaction. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. Ordinance.
Ordinance, okay. Just a few things. One, we are pursuing a sensible approach to necessary revenue generation. So there'll be some changes coming, in the beginning of the new year. Just want to brace everybody for that. We were moving forward on the Town of Bath bed and breakfast facilities and short-term rentals facilities ordinance, and should have that ready for first reading in January. We're also continuing the process of reviewing our options as far as B&O is concerned, and we're doing an analysis of the current water tariff. In addition to that, we have 3 development projects I just want to share with council, bring council and the community up to speed. Looks like they're almost going to happen simultaneously up and down Wilkes Street at this point. We have the corner of Wilkes and St. George. Shenandoah Properties is looking to do 6 to 7 townhouses on that corner. 377 Wilkes Street, LJ Builders is doing an 8-unit apartment building complex, and we've seen some renderings for that. We'll have the renderings to share with council as well. 240 Wilkes Street, Foursquare Architects is going to do a multi-use commercial property on the corner over here, which would include retail shops and apartments. So we will meet with all those developers. We will have in here to meet with them to discuss, obviously, parking and their intentions as far as that is concerned. And I'll schedule those meetings, in early January for all of us.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Waterworks, Tom?
Yes. Our regularly scheduled meeting is, we will be meeting the 1st and the 3rd Wednesdays each month, starting in January. I have asked for a meeting tomorrow, the 20th, at 2 p.m., primarily to simply review the tariffs that are available for us to look at with regards to the Berkeley Springs Waterworks and a revision of our current tariff. There's many areas within that tariff that needs to be readdressed to help support the community. We also will be looking at making within the town, I hope, a vehicle change. And with that being said, the water department is producing top quality water every day, and we're delighted to be at that. And so that would be the end of my report. Thank you.
Okay. And everybody just remember, we have the annual water
Yes,
tasting
I forgot.
registration by the 23rd of 2024. So I can't remember when does that happen in February?
It's in February.
It's in February,
Okay,
but that's the
Do
registration.
we register here? Will they be registering here?
I don't know.
Or will the
Country Inn is doing
Chamber of Commerce be handling it again?
Travel
Okay, cool.
Berkeley Springs, Travel Berkeley Springs.
Travel Berkeley Springs.
So anyway, you got that window opens there by the 23rd of next month to have your water registered, ready to go if you have a water company or anything like that. So, okay, this comes to the end of our agenda that we have right now. I would like to ask council members if there's anything else that you all need to discuss during this meeting. If not, I would open the floor up to anybody that wants to.
I personally have been blessed by the blessed box and the Christmas lights that we have. And I would like to suggest that we explore the possibility of working with the state park. And within the state park, we, in addition to our primary light at the corner, possibly consider putting 15 or 20 5-foot Christmas trees inside the state park. Again, it would take coordination with the state park, do the same thing with the trees that we have done for the parking meters. And the night of the light, we light the lights. We also consider lighting all the lights in the state park, all the little Christmas trees. And we don't want anything that's much over 5 foot, simply because we don't want to overbear the gazebo itself and the big tree in the center. But just the mere fact of having the state park lit up in that fashion, it is just, I can't imagine what it would look like. It would be beautiful. So for the holiday season.
We're talking artificial trees or real trees?
Real trees,
They won't stay 5 feet.
Excuse me?
They won't stay 5 feet tall.
What do you mean they won't stay 5 feet tall?
Well, they're gonna grow tall if they're real. What I'm saying is you.
No,
were
we're not
talking
gonna
about
plant them,
5
we're
foot-
just gonna put them in the park.
We're just gonna, we would,
Oh, you're not planting.
Yeah, it
them.
wouldn't be planting them.
no, not planting the trees. We're not gonna take the state park.
Yeah, it
We've
would,
got a
it would
whole
be
year
trees.
for this wonderful idea to germinate and
Yes.
take form. So thank you for the sneak preview, Tom.
Absolutely, so we'll see what we can do, so, all right.
Up, Charlie.
Yeah, I was
Charlie?
just gonna say, on your speed limit sign, the 15 miles an hour, you may want to go and check the National Traffic Safety Administration. I haven't checked it in the last couple of years, but they did studies several years ago. It shows that between 95 and 96% of all car pedestrian accidents happen at speeds under 25 miles an hour.
Oh, so you're in
Yeah,
favor of keeping it going.
Yeah, when the first study came out, they didn't believe the numbers, so they reran them. And all the numbers start coming out the same again. So they did a study to find out why, and they found out that people said that because the speed limit was so low, they thought they had enough time to react, that they weren't paying attention to what they were doing.
Well,
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's real
Interesting.
interesting.
so I don't know if they've come up with ideas to overcome that or not. Like I said, I haven't checked in a while.
see more people pay attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's something.
all right, anybody else? All right, before I adjourn, I would just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And we won't probably see you all until the new year. So a wonderful new year. Looking for great things to happen from this council next year. And we appreciate all your support coming. So I will ask for a common consent to adjourn.
So moved. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Christmas all. Merry Christmas, Mayor. Mayor.